All right. Haven't done a live stream in a while, so let's try this out. I want to talk about. I Here's the background. Here's the background on this. I just noticed on the Transistor website. So we have a marketing site, and then we have the application site, and the application site still has this old meta description from when we launched. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Let's close that chat. So, Transistor is the best way to create a podcast for your business. That was the slogan that we started with, and it's still in the, our meta content description. And so it got me thinking, okay, I should update this on the app. And so I went to metatags.io, and first of all, I went to just our marketing site, and I said, okay, what do we have right now here? Modern podcast hosting and analytics. It's pretty good, but then I started thinking, maybe I should change this, Oh, hey, streaming with Beaming. I see your comment there on YouTube. It sounds like my son's friends are watching this live stream right now. Great to have you guys. You should be doing school, though. Shouldn't you guys be in class or something? Maybe it's lunchtime. All right. So, yeah, this got me thinking, what should I update here? And so I started looking at, I think the next one I went to is I'm like, I wonder what ConvertKit's meta description is right now. And so I opened it up. ConvertKit, the creator marketing platform, connect with your fans, foster your community, etc. And this reminded me of this old tweet thread I had, which is basically asking, why do some companies have really generic descriptions of what their product does on their website? So this one here, I believe this was from Intercom, just says the best way to connect with your customers. And, if you're visiting this website for the first time, this doesn't really tell you anything about what they do. Like, what is this product? What does this product do? And I'm curious whether this kind of generic positioning even works. This is interesting. So this is December 15th, 2021. Get down to business and grow sales. Engage your customers and boost your business with our advanced yet easy to use marketing platform. What product is this? What does this product do? We always talk about like the first few seconds of someone visiting a website. They decide whether it's the right solution they're looking for. And this kind of generic positioning was always confusing to me. And it's interesting. This is actually MailChimp's homepage from 2021. If you go there now, they're much more clear in their positioning about the fact that they are primarily an email marketing company. So they tried out this, and now they've gone way more specific with, we are an email marketing company. What can you do with our product? Turn emails into revenue. I think this is actually a great headline. I got to add this little, my son's friends telling me that they can watch this live stream because it's lunchtime. Anyway, so I'm trying to decide now what I should do for Transistor's headline and description. And of course, if you parse any of these things, this is the preview. This is what you'll see on Google search results, right? Like, the reason this is important is because this is what people see when they're searching for a product like yours. And I've noticed that MailChimp has reversed course. They were really generic, and now they've gone back to very specific positioning, which is, we are a marketing automation and email platform. At least they have email in the in the title, and then email marketing platform is also in the description. And I wonder why ConvertKit chose this positioning. It's just it's much more generic. And I'm a little bit confused why you would choose, like, if people are trying to find email marketing platform or email newsletter platform, why wouldn't you have the words email newsletter, email marketing in your title or description? There must be a good reason for it. It must be a test. But back in 2021, my whole thread is about, I don't think indie brands should have this kind of generic positioning. And for example, Transistor, I think we need to be very specific about what we do. We are podcast hosting, analytics, podcast distribution. That's what we do. And this whole thread's actually really good. I think we covered a lot of the nuance here. I'm just not convinced that this generic kind of template for marketing websites, I'm not convinced it actually works. So let's maybe go back here. So let's go to Transistor here. So yeah, I'm thinking that I'd like to change this. So let's go into the code here. One thing I think cast hosting, I think we should lead with what Transistor does. And what's the other? We have, we could say unlimited podcast hosting. That might be good. What's the descriptor that should be here? Let's try this. Let's just go with unlimited. Well, except it's not completely unlimited. Modern podcast hosting, I think Simplecast actually uses that, so I don't want to use that as the descriptor. It's actually hard to figure out, like, how do we encompass what the product does. I think I asked ChatGPT this. Let's see what ChatGPT said. Let me just find that. Make sure first I'm going to hide my screen just so I don't show anything incriminating. Okay, let's go. Let's find the yeah, so here's what ChatGPT said. Just show you my screen here. So these are the options it gave me. Why does all of ChatGPT descriptions, it has that feel, where a lot of their suggestions are just not that good. Transistor podcast hosting, where creativity meets technology. That's exactly the kind of generic, bland thing I'm not trying to do. I put in, a variation from, like, I took a competitor's title and description and said, okay, give me a variation on this. It's still terrible. Premium podcast hosting isn't bad. I don't know if anyone's doing that. I don't mind that as much. But embark on your podcasting journey is not awesome. Maybe what we'll do here is, let's go back to the code. We could go premium podcast hosting. I also don't know about capitalization. Are you supposed to capitalize things, like using... I like using sentence case, but what about premium podcast hosting by Transistor? And then let's even just grab this. This might be too long of a description now. Something like this might be good. Create unlimited or start unlimited podcasts. That's another, for one monthly price. Easily distribute to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, more. This might be a good. Let's use this one for now. Oh, and we've got a bunch of these. How do I go down again? Nope. I've forgotten my Visual Studio. Like when you, I guess I could just find and replace like this. Jim Hill suggests anything like all-in-one podcast hosting. That's not a bad idea. The only thing is that we don't do recording, which some people might expect from all-in-one. So I'm not sure if that's the answer. Somebody needs to remind me, maybe I'll just do it manually. Okay, so I'll paste this premium podcast hosting, and I think this might be too long, but let's do it anyway. I can't remember what the word count. There's kind of a maximum word count you can have for these. What's up, Jason Baggs? Good to see you, man. All these old faces I haven't seen in a while. What's this? So this is complete reference documentation for transistors, for the Transistor API. Transistor is modern podcast hosting, everything you need to start your own podcast. I think that one's good. I'm going to keep that there. All right, and let's maybe just see what happens when I put that in there. So it will get cut off. It won't print all of that on Google, and maybe on our marketing site, I should just have premium podcast hosting and then Transistor. Yeah, that might be. But for now, let's publish this branch. So I'm just going to say update meta description on the app. Actually, I got to create a story for this. Hold on. Just going to hide my screen for a sec, and then it's a little inside baseball, but you can see kind of how we do things at Transistor. So I'm just going to create a story called, do I have this already? Let's go to code. Anything owned by me? Okay. So I'm going to create a story. Update meta description. Oh, sorry. I'll show you my screen now. Update meta description on the app. It's using the old description from when we launched. So usually I create a story in Shortcut. I'm going to assign this to myself. This is more of a chore than a feature. We'll put this in the code workflow. And then what I'll do after I create it is I'll reference the story ID when I push this up. So update meta description on the app, and then I just reference that ID. It's all pretty straightforward. I think this is all right. Looks good. Looks good. Okay. So we'll publish that. And then I'll preview that pull request. usually when I do a pull request, I mean, my pull requests are always really simple, but I have this little pull request template. So what does this do? Just updates the meta description that appears on app landing pages. Don't think I can delete that. I'll usually put the ticket right here. Sometimes I'll put a little GIF in there, but okay. So that will be the pull request, and I'll just request that Jason or John review it. I still think it's an interesting question, though, going back to the original question. Why do, like, here's another example. Where was that other one? I just see examples of these kinds of home pages all the time where, oh, and this is interesting. Sorry, I see home pages that are generic, you know, like this still all the time. And I'm always curious, like, do they work? Like, why it's so hard to tell what these products do. I think further down in this thread, I think Brian Casel did an A/B test, and he says B, a video messaging tool for async conversations, outperformed A, which is more kind of generic positioning, right? So, I mean, like all of these things, you're supposed to test things out, but yeah. I know there's an argument for having it super generic, but I'm not sure about it. While we're here, actually, I'll update the Transistor meta title and description. It's a good question for all you folks. Like, I don't know how often are you looking at, title and description and how things look. What's another good example? Like QuickBooks. What are they doing? .com. QuickBooks official site. Smart Tools, Better Business. See, this is funny. They don't mention accounting. I'm just confused by. I'm confused why you wouldn't just say what you do. If people are looking for an accounting tool, like, wouldn't you want to tell them that this is an accounting tool? Let's see what SavvyCal does these days. Scheduling software everyone will love. See, that immediately tells me what this product does. I almost would put it in this graphic as well, but maybe Derek's tested that. Let's look at Tuple. What is Tuple? Tuple, a remote pair programming tool. It's like, here's what this product does. It's very clear. What about Tailwind CSS? Okay, so they have the kind of the benefit up there. I mean, it says CSS, so utility first CSS framework. Anyway, I'm still curious about positioning marketing sites that don't clearly say what the product does. Be curious to get your thoughts. You can leave a comment wherever you're watching this video. I would love to do more live videos. I haven't done one in a while, but just got everything hooked up. It seemed like this worked pretty good. So thanks to everyone who stopped by. Jim Hill, Jason Baggs, my son's friends over at the high school there. And yeah, I'll try to do more live streams soon.